Welcome everybody to my newest Let's Play, Final Fantasy 1 for the Nintendo Entertainment System. This is my second playthrough of this game, and like the first playthrough, this one will be going for 100% completion. I'll be getting all the treasure chests, I'll be showing off all the enemies in the bestiary, and the 4 ratty heroes will be from Marty Mouse house. It will be a little bit different though from the last playthrough, in that I'll be using the 2 classes that I did not use in the first playthrough. I'll be using 2 fighters and 2 thieves. In the first playthrough I used a red mage, a black belt, a black mage, and a white mage. This playthrough will also differ in that I will be actually going for the class changing. So yeah, the thief is a pretty terrible class. It's universally agreed that that is the worst class in the game. When a class changes into a ninja, though, it gets a little bit better, mainly because it gets so much better equipment. A ninja can equip pretty much every single weapon in the game, with the exception of, I believe, the Excalibur sword. And they get some pretty good armor upgrades as well. So they can also use some up to level 4 black magic. So it's really important to get a class change for the thieves there. So fighters also get a little bit better. They get some better equipment and stuff too. So here we are. We have our 4 ratty heroes. We have Albert, Beez, Chip, and Nichols. So we abbreviated Albert to Bert. So let's go talk with these people here real quick. This group will not be able to use magic until they class change, so we'll save some money there. We won't have to be visiting the magic shops. So most of the money is going to be spent on just equipment and items, so because we're only going to be able to heal with healing potions. So every single one of these characters can use the rapier, so we're going to buy the rapier for every single one of them. And then we're going to head over to the armor shop. We'll buy wooden armor for our 2 thieves, and we'll buy chainmail for our 2 fighters. So that guy's telling us to revive the power of the orbs. I skipped over the intro there, but basically what happened is there are 4 elemental orbs, 1 for each of the 4 elements: earth, fire, water, and wind. And they've basically been they're out of balance. They've been darkened because these elemental fiends took over the power of the crystals and basically throw the world into chaos. But there's a prophecy that 4 heroes will come and restore light to the orbs. And it just so happens that, one day, Bert, Beez, Chip, and Nichols here all come into Corneria City. They're all holding a darkened orb. So when I go to my status screen, I will show you those orbs. So they'll all be dark there in the upper left corner. So yeah, this guy's talking about how the Light Warriors are going to come in and save the day, so. But apparently it looks like the first thing we're going to have to do is save a princess. My home is Provoca, a beautiful port city far to the east of here. So we're going to come here real quick. We're going to buy a tent. A tent basically serves as an inn outside in the field. It gives you some hit points back, and it allows you to save your game. So we won't have to do as much grinding with this party as we did with the first party to take on the first dungeon, which is the Temple of the Fiends in the northwest. So here's our status screen. We gotta go equip all our weapons. Yeah, just buying the stuff doesn't auto-equip it, so you're gonna have to go into each of your weapon and armor menus, selections to equip the items. Upper left there you see is the 4 darkened orbs, and as we defeat an elemental fiend, those orbs will get their light back. So all our characters start off the same, but we'll be noticing, because we have 2 characters of each type, they won't necessarily level the same. Certain stats have a 100% chance to increase during certain levels. If a stat does not have a 100% chance to increase during a certain level, there's a 25% chance that it will increase. So for right now, all our thieves have the same stats, all our fighters have the same stats, but after leveling up, you'll notice that some of the stats, they won't be the same. So the king is looking for the Light Warriors. do not happen to be them, do you? Well, yes, we are. And so we have the 4 orbs. But even though, like, we are the prophesized light warriors, the king's not going to give us any help. Yeah, he doesn't give us any gold, give us any good equipment. Nope, we're all on our own. So, for the first time I went through this game, because I had a party that can use a lot of magic, I had to spend a little bit of time here grinding up to get some money for the magic. Plus the characters that I was using, they had, well, the red mage is pretty good. It's a mixture of like magic and physical attack class. But the black belt starts off pretty poorly. Doesn't have really good equipment selection. And the other 2 characters, the black mage and the white mage, they're not very good physical fighters either. They take a lot of damage, don't deal a lot of damage. So we had to gain like a few levels before we went to the first dungeon. This party won't have that problem, so, because they're all physical fighters. Oh, my sister. So that's one of the other princesses there. What's this guy say? Their guards still saying the same thing, looking for the light warriors. Down here is the queen's room. In sadness, the queen locked herself inside, but the door isn't locked. I am Jane, Queen of Cornelia. Please save my daughter, Princess Sarah. And if we talk around to more folks in the castle, they'll let us know where Princess Sarah is. Please save the princess. And over here, there's an invisible person. The princess was looking for you. Garland used to be a good knight until... Who's Garland? We'll find that out in a little bit. Let that person move. If a door is locked, you won't be able to enter into it. If a door is unlocked, all you have to do is press up when you're in front of it, and the door will open and you'll be able to walk through it. But reports say that Garland holds the princess in the temple to the northwest. But there are some doors that are locked by that mystic key that was given to the Prince of Elfland for safekeeping 400 years ago. That's what that one sage told us. And once we get that, then we'll be able to open those locked doors. Light warriors, just as in Lucan's prophecy, Garland has kidnapped the princess. Please help her. Well, why don't you help us? You know, you can give us some good equipment and stuff like that. But no, the king is not going to help us, so we're on our own. So we're going to head to the northwest to the Temple of the Fiends. It's a small little dungeon. You can actually go through it real quick. As soon as you enter it, you just head north, and you'll go right into the room where Garland is. But there's a few treasures that we want to get, so we'll explore that and fight some enemies. So here's our first little encounter here. 5 imps. So weak little enemy there, only have 8 hit points. A small attack, 4. They only have 1 attack. Your characters, and enemies also, there's a thing called hit percentage. That isn't hit percentage in terms of like how often you'll hit something. What that is, it determines the amount of attacks that you have. So everybody starts with just 1 attack. But when you hit a multiple of 32, you'll gain a 2nd attack. So at hit percentage 32, you'll have 2 attacks. 64, you'll have 3 attacks. 96, you'll have 4 attacks. 128 will be 5 attacks. And you can also get more attacks by using a spell called the Fast Spell. Our ninjas, Chip and Nichols, when they class change, they'll be able to get the Fast Spell. So it's a black magic spell. So we have a little swamp area there. There's some enemies in there that can poison you, so we want to try to avoid going in the swamp as much as we can. But yeah, as you walk around the overworld and in dungeons, you'll come across random encounters. Each area has a certain type of monsters that are in their encounter table. So this Temple of Fiends, we have quite a few undead type monsters here, like these zombies here. So if we had a red mage, we can use harm or fire spell from them. And that'll deal extra damage. If you have a white mage can use the harm spell, and black mage can use the fire spell, and the red mage can use both of those type of spells. So if you want to see what those characters, like I said, play like, you can go back and look at my first playthrough of this game. So But the Temple of Fiends, like I said, is just a one-floor dungeon. Heading straight up from the entrance is where you would find Garland and the Princess. But we're going to head over here to the left because there's 3 treasure chests we can get over here. There's also some treasure chests on the right, but those doors where the treasure that enter the room where the treasure chests are, they are locked by the Mystic Key. So if this is your first time playing the game, you might want to, take notes about, where the doors are, because there's quite a few doors that we'll be encountering that will be locked by the Mystic Key. So if you don't want to miss out on treasure, you want to be able to know where those doors are, so when you finally get the Mystic Key, you know where to backtrack to. So when we defeat enemies, we get experience. When you get a certain amount of experience, you get your level ups, and that'll increase your stats, your hit points, and the higher your levels are, you also get more spell charges. So, right now here's some wolves. Right now, each wolf gives 24 experience. Basically, if you want to find out how much experience each of your characters gets, you would take the experience that each enemy gets, and then you would multiply by how many there are. So right now there were 5 wolves, so 5 times 24 is 120, and then you divide that by the amount of characters who are alive or knocked out at the end of the battle. So 120, if everybody survives this battle, there'll be 4, so 120 divided by 4, everybody will get 30 experience. And then gold is just multiplied by how many there are, so we'll get 30 experience and 30 gold. So, there we go, we'll take out these wolves, so let's see if all calculations are correct. 30 experience and 30 gold. And that'll give us a level up. So we'll get some strength, some agility, some vitality, and he missed his intelligence. So yeah, there's 5 stats. SAVL is like the acronym for them. So, but we'll see if Beez gets similar stat increases there. He got a little bit more hit points there. Strength, agility, vitality. And he did not get any luck. So yeah, see how obviously intelligence and luck were not guaranteed stats for fighters on level 1. So Boat missed out on 1 of them, Beez missed out on 2 of them. So, but I'll go into what all the stats do, as we go on. So, one thing I didn't talk about, we just got earlier there, a cap. It's a piece of headgear that anybody can use. Got a heal potion there that heals about 30 hit points when you drink it in battle or use it outside of battle. We've got a cabin there. It's like a tent, but it heals a little bit more hit points than the tent. So, we have Monster Strike first there. Certain monsters have a certain ambush rate to them. And if, so there's a chance that the monster will act before you get to go. So this guy gives 30 experience. You get 7.5, but they round stuff down, so yeah. It's not going to go to 8, it's just going to drop down to 7. So the 2 rooms on the left, we were able to enter into them, but the 2 rooms here on the right, we'll notice, it'll say, hey, it's locked by the Mystic Key door, so we're going to have to come back here much later. So, yeah, we won't get the Mystic Key for quite a while, so it's important that you keep those notes so that you don't forget things. So you have our second type of imp there. Gray imps. We also have our second type of wolf there, the gray wolf. Although sometimes people joke they're like grape wolves and grape imps because they don't look gray, they're more like a purple. So it's like they dipped them in purple Kool-Aid. So, now you gotta be careful when you're attacking enemies here. Bert and Beez should probably be able to take out a gray imp with 1 hit. Chip and Nickels, though, a little bit weaker, they may not be able to finish it off. But if you have multiple characters attacking a certain enemy and that enemy is defeated, and another character goes to attack a defeated enemy, they just waste their turn. It isn't until Final Fantasy III when auto-targeting comes into play, where your character will automatically select a new target during battle if their previously assigned target was defeated. So you gotta kind of think about like how much damage will my characters do, so you're not wasting attacks, especially here at the beginning of the game. So because we don't have a lot of healing items, we only have that one healing potion that we got. When we get back to Corneria, we're gonna have to buy a bunch of healing potions, but just getting back to that cap. You want to try to put all your armor on the character in the front slot. The character in the front slot, Boat, he has a 50% chance to take all enemy attacks. Beez has a 25% chance to take attacks, and then Chip and Nichols have roughly a 12.5% chance to take attacks. So basically it's half character in the front row, the second slot gets 25, 1/4, and then third and fourth are basically 1/8. So it's a little bit higher. It's like 12.7 for the third character and 12.3, but it's functionally 1 and 8 for both of them. So now before we go fight Garland, we're going to use that tent that we bought. Tents are good right now. They won't heal us entirely because we were so low on hit points, but it'll give us enough hit points and it'll also allow us to save our game. So I'm gonna reset the game. We started just to set my spawn speed at 8, so I'll move a little bit faster. No one touches my princess, light warriors, you impotent fools. I, Garland, will knock you all down. So here's our first boss of the game, Garland. He's not too tough. If you have spellcasters, you want to use spells on him. Like if you have a red mage or a black mage, use your fire spells. The white mage won't be able to use a harm spell. Harm is only useful against undead. And Garland, as you can see, he's not undead. When I put the stats of the enemies up there, you'll see it'll say like giant type undead, and that's just basically their type that they are. So there are certain weapons that are supposed to deal more damage to certain types of enemies. Like if you're a dragon, the dragon sword's supposed to do more to them. If you're a giant, the giant sword's supposed to do more damage. But unfortunately, this game, it's an older game, and it was kind of a new type of game that Square was making, so it wasn't necessarily coded. There's quite a few bugs in it, so those properties of special weapons don't work. So we got some bats here. So you are the light warriors, thank you. Luckily, when we talk with the princess, we get warped right back to the castle. Thank you for saving the princess. To aid your quest, I ordered a bridge built to the continent. The princess is always worried about us. This loot has been passed down from queen to princess for 2,000 years. Garland stole it from me when he kidnapped me. Please accept it as a gift. It just might come in handy. So keep in mind that 2,000 years. So that'll give you a clue as to when you're going to have to use the loot. Thank you for rescuing the princess. No problem. That's just what we do. Like I said, the reward is there's going to be a bridge that's going to connect this little section. It's kind of like a little island. We're stuck here in this area where we can only really go to Corneria City, Corneria Castle, and the Temple of Fiends. But now when we head out to the overworld, there'll be a bridge across a river to the north, and that'll open up the rest of this continent. And from there we can go to like Provoca, that city that one character was talking about. He was like, hey, I come from Provoca, a port city far to the east. We'll also learn another destination that we can go to. So it's always important when you finish, a quest to go back into town and talk with the people. As you can see, dialogue changes when you do certain events. So talk with the other princess here. These guys now tell us that they belong to the Honor Guard. Now the old men up there, the sages, they still say the same thing because we haven't done the Mystic Key thing yet, so it'll be a while until we get that. So this person still says the same thing. A lot of these folks will still say the same thing, but still, we just want to make sure that We don't want to skip any valuable information. So once again, revive the power of the orbs. North of Canaria lives a witch named Matoya. See, that's some new information right there. So now we know when we go to the north, we should head straight north of this town to try to find Witch Matoya. If somebody mentions it, one of the NPCs mention it, it's probably important that you go see the person they mention. He's telling us about Provoca again. So that's a destination that we want to head to. Now what's this lady say? Matoya has poor eyesight. She needs the crystal to see. So that's going to be a little bit of a mini quest we have to do a little bit later. But right now we're going to buy a whole bunch of heal potions. So I'm just going to do that off screen. We want to save at least 30 gold though. Because 30 gold is the amount of money we need to use the inn here. The inn will restore all our hit points, all our spell charges, and allow us to save our game. So the inn in Corneria here is only 30 gold. So we save that 30 gold. Now we can save our game. This is what we'll pick up in our next episode. Thank you. Take care. Have a good day. See you around. Bye.